Good morning, dreamers. Good afternoon, dreamers. Good evening, dreamers. No matter where you're at, we're still here dreaming together. I want you to think back to a time where you were going through what you seem to be the hardest struggle in your life. And I want you to spend about 30 seconds on that moment. And then when you think about it and it's on your mind, I want you to let it go. Just let it go. You see, when we continuously find ourselves dwelling on the past, we can't seem to find ourselves going into the future. You see, our future is what matters, and we're told to live in the moment, which is fine, but how do you know what your future is if you're constantly living in the moment? You see, it's not a bad thing to live in the moment, and it's fantastic to live in the moment, to be there with your partner, to be there with your friend, to be there with your family, whatever. But if we're constantly dwelling on what is the past, we can never see ourselves going into the future. And that's where we're trying to get, is our future, because our future is our success. That's where our success happens. You see, every day comes and yesterday is in the past. So dwelling on yesterday does you no good. Getting angry about something that happened yesterday does you no good. Because all it's going to do is lead you to frustration. And that can't lead you into happiness, success, vitality, commitment, relationships. None of these things can happen if you're constantly dwelling on the past. And that's fine and dandy to reminisce about things of the past, of family members or friends or whatever, from time to time. But if you're constantly dwelling on the past, you're never going to be finding yourself looking into the future. You see, our lives are built of moments, and our lives are built of destiny. And yes, there is destiny that does happen, but you create that destiny. It's not decided for you. You see, every day is a new day. Every day is a new day, and you're given another chance. And every day that you look up, you can get up. And if you're getting up, then you're growing. You see, life is made up of, take an example of a barrel of apples. You see the lush, fruitful apples on top, but then you don't really see the ones that are in the background or underneath the lush apples on the bottom. You see, you can shake that barrel as many times as you want, and yes, maybe those lush, fruitful apples will go to the bottom, but then you'll shake it again and it'll come to the top. You see, you're not ready to do things if you're constantly reminiscing on the past. Those people that are on top right now have earned their place in that position because they fit in there. They're lush, fruitful apples, and they're strong, and their strength is in whatever position that they're doing. You can't go into a company and be the greenhorn of it all, and then in just a few days become the president or the CEO of the company. It doesn't work that way. As much as you may think that they're making bad decisions or unwise decisions, or maybe they do make wise decisions along the way, it doesn't matter because you're still the greenhorn. You see, if you're constantly saying, well, I deserve this and I deserve that, and I've done this and I've done that, your past doesn't matter when you go into a new company, because as much acquisition as you may have, it doesn't matter, because if you're not fruitful in those things or those strengths that they're needing in that company, then you're constantly going to be living in the past and reminiscing about it and saying, back in my day. Well, my day may have been yesterday. So you're still living in the past as far as yesterday. So you have to, yes, one, live in the moment of where you're at today, but you also have to look to the future. What can I do today that leads me to my success tomorrow? And we're not always promised tomorrow. So you have to give yourself the chance today to stop reminiscing about the past. See, our lives are like that barrel. Our lives are shaken up. Our destiny's constantly shaken up. And some people continuously grow and then they find themselves moving up in the company. And yes, there may have been someone there who has been there for 4 or 5 years and they've been there in that same position. Well, that doesn't mean they're being fruitful or bearing great fruit and going to that next level. So ask yourself, Do you want to be the small apple that tries to work its way to the top and doesn't fit and eventually falls down because you're shaking the wrong tree? You know what I mean? And yes, it is an apple joke. Okay, whatever. But the point is that you can't put yourself in a position of president, CEO, executive, vice president, board member, whatever, if you just started in the company. Yes, they may be making bad decisions. It doesn't matter. As long as you continuously look to the future and do the things that you're supposed to do and do more. See, those people that are stuck in those same positions are constantly doing the things that they need to do, but they're not doing any more. They're always looking for someone to tell them what to do. So do you want to be the person that's doing the things you need to do and then doing more outside of that based on the knowledge you have? Or do you want to be constantly asking those people that you're, demoralizing what to do? You can't demoralize people and then ask them what to do. You have to be the one that sets the example and says, okay, this is where we need to be today. Say they give you, a bunch of paperwork that you have to scan into a printer. Been there. You do it, and then you get the next files and you take the staples out even though they didn't ask you. You see, doing the things constantly that puts you in the position to be that fruitful apple, that strong apple that fits into the top of the barrel, that's where you want to be. But if you go up there and you expect to be the luscious fruitful apple and then you reach into the barrel and you pull out the small apple, then you need to reconsider where you're at in your life, because that means that you're constantly reminiscing about the past and saying, these are the things I've done and these are the things I've done in the past, so why does that not fit into where I am today? Well, that may be good and fine in the old company that you were in, but it doesn't make a difference in the new company you're in because you're still a greenhorn. So be the person that, yes, there may be people making fun of you for doing the extra mile or doing the things that nobody else is doing, but that means that they're scared that you're going to take their position because you're doing the things that they're not. So dreamers, my goal for you today is to go the extra mile. Don't reminisce on the past and put yourself in a position to look for a successful future. And go out there and inspire, desire, and set fire to your own life. And have a great day.